So there are a lot of ways you can do a mock Congress to use a simulation to simulate the legislative process. We've done it a number of times, a number of different ways here at Bartlett High School. I've done it with one class, myself. I've done it with two of my classes and one or two other teachers. The past 2 semesters, I've done it with my mentee, who has 4 civics classes, and I have 4. So we've had 250 students in 8 classes. But whichever of those it is, we follow the same procedure. We first elect a speaker. So you're mimicking the House of Representatives. Speaker of the House is powerful. So you have, in our case, we let students from each one of the 8 classes decide if they wanted to run, and if they did, they made a video. And then the videos were given to me, and they were showed at the beginning of each one of the 8 periods. So all the classes saw the videos of the kids that were running for speaker. If you have 3 classes, you know, you could do it that way, that all 3 classes make sure that they see the videos, and then that way kids can vote. After they see the videos of all the people running for speaker, hey, I should be your speaker, you know, I'll serve you great, I'll help us win, you know, I'm a great person, whatever. Now they've got their leader. So that gets them involved in the process. They've elected a leader. So they have a Speaker of the House who will run the full session of Congress, which will be at the end. Now you need to give 2 basic duties to all the students in this simulation. You've got a speaker, but every student is now a legislator. You could say they're a member of the House if you want to simulate the House. So 2 of the main things that legislators do are write bills and sit on committees and consider bills. So we give all our students those 2 roles, and they're separate roles. So usually in natural groupings that they have in class, we divide students into bill writing groups. So a class of about 30, you know, divided into about groups of roughly 4. So every group of 4 kids is writing a bill. We have a Google Doc, a shared Google Doc that can be edited by anybody, and it's got like over 100, maybe 150 different topics on it that are somewhat controversial, interesting real-world topics. And so then the students choose a topic, and we just allow 1 per group. So the first group that decides they want, you know, marijuana, legalizing marijuana, they write their name on the Google Doc, and so everybody knows that group has it. And another group, they want to do something on railroad crossing safety, or any one of the 150 things that are there. So now, after you've got these bill writing groups, they each define a topic that they want to write their bill on. Then we've got this process of operationalizing, taking this topic that's about cleaner air or, you know, safer environment, and turning it into a specific law. They have to decide, you know, you can't say we're going to solve homelessness. Every homeless person will be given a mansion. That's obviously unrealistic. So what will their bill do? We usually give them some guidelines, maybe show them a sample bill from Congress, but they have to make something specific and tangible out of that bill. So they're writing those bills. Then all students are placed into committees of about, you know, 12, and we've had up to 20 students on a committee depending on how your numbers work out. So you pick a number of committees, Committee A, Committee B. We usually don't say that this is health and human resources, or this is, you know, finances, this is education. We just pick committee numbers, and then they can be given bills on any topic. So certain committees get assigned certain bills. All these bills that are written by however many classes you have, there's X number of bills. Usually we number our bills. The ones that come from period 1 start with 1. So bill number 11, bill number 12, bill number 13. The bills that come out of period 2, the first one's bill 21. The second group is bill 22. Third group is 23, and so on. But you can use any kind of numbering system. And so all these bills end up being assigned to a committee. So again, every student wears 2 hats. They're on a bill writing group, but they're also sitting on a committee. And so usually the way we work it out, every committee hears 2 or 3 bills. So that way students both have to both promote their own bill. We usually have them make a pamphlet and a poster. They need to know what's in their bill after they craft it, but they also need to study the bills that are before their committee. And then we have 2 in-school field trips when we do this. We need 1 for the committee hearings. So that way, in the last 2 semesters, all the kids from our 8 classes, 250 students, we did an in-school field trip for 1 period. We used the auditorium for that many kids. We divided it into like 12 areas, and we had 4 sessions in 1 period. So committees A through Z, ultimately, 2 different groups. We had hearings for all the bills. So every bill was able to get a hearing in a committee in 1 school period, because we had about 52 bill writing groups. We had, I think, 26 committees, so that ended up being 2 per committee, and we just had a very specific schedule that was divided the period into 4 sections, and so all the bills got a hearing. So that's one school, in-school field trip for 1 period. All the bills had a hearing in committee, so that simulates committee hearings. Then we have one other in-school field trip. In our case, because we had 250 seniors, we used the first and second period, or 2 periods in the auditorium, and then bills that made it through the committees ended up going to the full session of Congress. That was our second in-school field trip. The first was the committee hearings. The second in-school field trip was the full session of Congress. And so the Speaker of the House runs that session. We used rules. And so basically that's the way we run a very successful simulation. Again, anywhere between 1 class and 8 classes, 250 students. So you can follow the links at the end of this video that show you the specifics of all these things, but that's one way to do a successful legislative simulation.